Hello my lovelies and welcome to 2013, the unlucky annum where the first year to get up and leave the table of time will be the first to die. It is time for some housekeeping on this channel. Firstly, if you go to youtube.com/watch 10 green bottles, you can find episodes of a web series I helped write and interviews with me. So if you want to see more of my face than SableCaught provides, that should definitely be your destination of choice. So for the rest of this video, we just have a few things to talk about. Reading challenges, my top books of 2012, and the winner of Dystopian Bingo. Let's go. Firstly, I set myself a goal of reading 60 books in 2012. I read 53. The year before, I actually set myself a goal of reading 100 books and read 93. So this year, I've set myself the goal of 62 books because I actually want to read 55. See, I've figured out how your game works. For a full list of everything I read last year, just inquire at the video information down below. I hear all it takes is a single click and it'll spill all my deepest, darkest secrets. But I need to draw your attention to the best. This is my top 10 of 2012. Number 1, and I'm already cheating. I read A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons, finishing off everything currently published in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. Also look, I got to meet him, this is exciting! I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this is definitely my favourite high fantasy series of the moment, and I've yet to come across anyone who doesn't like them. The characters are so realistic, the plot twists so unguessable, and once you pick up a tome, hefty though they are, you can't stop reading for a second. I honestly can't believe that I'm probably going to have to wait years for the next one in the series. I do, however, have a lot of predictions that I may one day share with you in a huge spoilery video. Number 2. The Woman Who Died a Lot by Jasper Fforde, in which Thursday Next continues her adventures within and without the book world. This one is a huge contrast to the last, being completely set in the real world, whereas the last one was set entirely in the book world. And yet it's still utterly fantastic in every way. I kind of feel like every single one of these books just gets even better. I cannot stop singing the praises of Jasper Fforde. Number 3. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. So moving, such a brilliant example of mixed media. I've done a full review on this book and I would highly urge you to go check it out. Number 4. The Tree of Codes by Jonathan Safran Foer, a book which made a brief appearance in my video about fanfiction. I think I might have liked this book more for its form than its content. Still, it was such a good idea and so well done. A book from within a book, really a work of art more than just a text. Number 5. Okay, again, this isn't a book, but I've been continuing reading everything I can by Terry Pratchett. This year I read Guards, The Colour of Magic, Reaper Man, Witches Abroad, and of course, with you guys, Good Omens. Pratchett's magic and humour really does make bedtime reading, commuter reading, sneaking under the desk at work reading, a good break from the stresses and troubles of reality. Of all of those specifically, my favourite was Witches Abroad, because it contains lines such as, "Stories are important. People think that stories are shaped by people. In fact, it's the other way around." Also, it's got loads of fairy tale references, and Grievo the cat. What's not to love? Number 6. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It was actually one of the first books I read in the year, and yet it still comes out as one of my favourites. In this book I just found something so fresh and so enjoyable. I loved her characters as well. I'm really eagerly awaiting the publication of Scarlet, its sequel, come February. Number 7. You know those books you're constantly being told to read, that everyone around you thinks you'd absolutely love, and you kind of know you'll love as well, but somehow seem to never actually get round to reading? Yeah, I finally read one of those this year. That was Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. And yeah, you were all right. I did love it. Absolutely loved it. It was so full of London and markets and amazingly whimsical magic. Yeah, now I need to go read everything Neil Gaiman's ever written. Number 8. Geek Girl by Holly Smale. I've actually got it behind me. I think it's the only one of all the books in this list that I actually brought to university. Now, this book actually isn't out yet. I will be doing a full review of it come its publication date in February, but at the moment I just couldn't not mention it. This book just came out of nowhere and completely blew me away. I picked it up on a whim, thought I'd read the first page, and then couldn't stop. I stayed up all night, didn't sleep, had to read the whole thing in one go. I won't spoil anything else about it, it will all be in my upcoming review, but fantastic book, keep your eyes peeled for it. Number 9. Now, this is a bit of an odd one. It's Howl by Allen Ginsberg. I don't normally get to talk about poetry in these videos because these videos are for books, and books aren't the medium I get my poetry through. Yet I did for Howl. I read a graphic novel version of it. It being brought to me like this was both good and bad. I think the poem itself does really suit a graphic novel. I think having it in that way makes you slow down and think about each line more carefully. At the same time, the one that they have available is done through computer-generated illustrations, and I think they've aged so poorly. Saying that, Ginsberg's poem itself was so powerful. Definitely one to check out even if you're just looking at the text on the internet. 10. So finally, and I'm sure you can guess what it is, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The ways in which this book moved me are not communicable without writing another similarly sized book. I have got some videos up on my channel talking about various parts of it if you want to go and discuss it with me there. And I'd really like to make some more one day. There are so many ideas that book stirs in me. It definitely comes down to this though. If you read one book I recommend you this year, make it The Fault in Our Stars. Now that is all done, I just about have time to announce the winner to Dystopian Bingo. That is The Terrified Gamer. I wonder why they're so terrified. I will be in contact with you shortly to post you your copy of Legend by Marie Lu. Commiserations to all those of you who didn't win, however, more competitions coming soon. In my next video, in fact. So I will see you then. Bye.